Hello, and welcome to episode 36 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Weebs. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Drama Matt. Say hello.
What?
Drama Matt, how are you doing, buddy? You sound like maybe you've forgotten some French.
Sacre bleu, cordon bleu, blue.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad. How are you guys doing? No, I'm joking. We're joined by the illustrious Remleiz.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you doing today, dude?
I'm not doing too bad, all things considered, in regards to my spine.
Ooh.
Oh.
As some of you may or may not be aware, I suffered an injury to my spine about 18 months ago, and full diagnosis is as follows: 2 discs close to perforation and abnormal bone growth in my coccyx.
Oh, mate, that's brutal.
Oh, very. Yes, I'm on quite a lot of medication for undergoing physiotherapy currently, and the medication makes me as high as a kite.
Well, it's not all bad, I guess.
No.
And if it helps, the diagnosis of abnormal bone growth is one of the most metal diagnoses.
Oh, yeah.
So, swings and roundabouts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the, never-ending pain
You'll end up looking like the album cover for Heartwork by Carcass.
Excellent.
That's pretty metal.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, do you want to actually introduce yourself for anyone that might possibly listen to this who doesn't know who you are? Not that there will be, because who the fuck knows who we are, but,
Yes, hello everyone, this is Remleiz from 40k Theories. You may actually know me from Snipe and Whip's video about the 10 weird facts about Rogue Trader. I'm the guy who talked about Obi-Wan Clouseau and mentioned about the squigs.
Yes, thank you for that, by the way.
Yes.
You're welcome. Of course, you're welcome.
We need to smuggle you into more videos, honestly. That was great. I can't hear Laura unless it's in your voice now. You've completely destroyed me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I guess the first order of business is something that we all have a little something to say about.
Yes.
Which is the recent Netflix Death Note.
Yes, someone should have killed that in its inception.
Yeah.
I watched it last night. It was definitely a thing that I apparently pay money for.
The only good thing about it was Jeremy Irons. Not Jeremy Irons, Willem Dafoe. Sorry, I watched the film last night, had Jeremy Irons in it. Confused, but yeah. Again, it's easy to get them confused, they're both weird.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Willem Dafoe was the only saving grace about that film.
Honestly, I loved Willem Dafoe as Ryuk. I thought he was perfect.
Yeah,
because he's got that creepy kind of thing, the way they mocapped his face, so the moment he grinned, you were like, oh my god, it's Willem Dafoe! In case you couldn't tell already.
The problem was, no one else was cast right.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that the guy cast as Light Turner.
Turner, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a great name. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure he was only cast because he, like, towards the end, he's kind of, like, doing the kind of the bags underneath the eyes, kind of like low look, kind of like, I'm so crazy kind of look.
Yeah. It's the fact that he has to search like Wikipedia to get his alias.
Yeah, that was.
You see, I have a bit of a theory about it. So Star Trek Enterprise.
Yes.
This is this is going somewhere. Don't worry.
I hate the theme song for that show.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, I don't. As a song,
it's been a long day.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You see, a couple of friends of ours, they got married to that song, and in context of a wedding, it's fine.
Well, yeah, because it's like super. Oh, so I'm gonna cry.
But as a Star Trek intro, it's the worst.
It's only one step below the original 60s Star Trek, though, let's be honest.
That had that great kind of 60s, cheese to it, though.
Yeah, it's got an excuse. It's the 60s. It's got an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Star Trek Enterprise, I feel, all started off with the problem of that A, it was made.
Well, yeah, don't pull your punches now, huh?
And B was that the ship and the show was named Enterprise. Now that means from the off, it's wormed into your head that there's a continuity issue for you to be looking out for, because it's the entire show is named after a ship that has never been brought up before. And that would have been brought up since it's, the Enterprise line is the most famous line of ships in the Federation. And it's not like it's a pre-Federation ship either. It's one of the first. So it puts you into the mindset to look for continuity errors. Because the whole show is based on one. If they'd have just called it, I don't know, like for the sake of argument, because I know that the new one is being called Discovery. Like if the original ship was called the Discovery, or maybe not the Saratoga, because it's probably going to get blown up, but...
Yeah.
But if they'd have called it anything else, then I probably would have gone into it without quite such a pedantic mindset. Likewise with Death Note, because they named especially the main character, Light, even though that makes even less sense for just a random Western guy to be called Light.
I will say, I would have liked it if in the movie someone had turned around and gone, Light? That's a really weird name. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
If someone had just called out that it's a strange name to give someone.
I mean, let's be honest, at least with American Gods, the main character... I don't know if you ever guys have seen or read the novel, but the main character is called Shadow Moon. At least he has the excuse like, yeah, my parents were hippies. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
You see, I think that is the excuse in the American Death Note, because there is a throwaway line earlier on talking about Light's mum was a hippie.
Oh, because she's
because of being kind of a pacifist, but it's not brought up in context of the name at all. So I think that's supposed to be the excuse of that. Mum was a hippie, but it's not explicitly stated, and it actually took until after I'd watched it until those kind of things kind of sunk into place, and was like, oh, was that the reason? They probably could have dwelt on that a little bit more.
Yeah, just a tad.
But yeah, the thing is, because they named the character Light, it means you go into it with the expectation of it being the Death Note story, and it's not.
And the fact that they named the film Death Note as well.
Well, you see, if it was just...
There's that issue as well.
If it was just the story of some random dude, I don't know, let's call him...
Dark.
I was...
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Okay.
If Darkwing Duck had Death Note... God almighty, I never knew how much I wanted that until just now.
Well, if it was just a random story...
When in trouble, you get fucking killed.
Let's get dangerous.
Yes!
It would have been improved if Light had have put the Death Note down, looked dead at the camera, and with all sincerity said, "Let's get dangerous."
And then it turned into Darkwing Duck.
I would have been behind it.
That and Willem Dafoe would have been the most perfect movie.
But yeah, if they called him whatever, let's call him Dark for the sake of argument. If they'd have called him that, then you wouldn't have gone into it going, "Oh, he has to be this genius sociopath that Light is in the Japanese one. He can be whatever, and the fact he's a bit of a doofus doesn't really matter now.
I
because it's a different character."
petitioned to call this American Light Dim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dim's big problem is he's a bit dim.
Yeah, because
Just a tad.
He's just a shitty teenager, really.
Because the thing is, the Japanese Death Note is, when it gets right down to it, absolute batshit insane goofy nonsense.
Oh yeah, but God, it sells it.
But it commits to it so hard, and to me the interesting thing about that is it's about the slow progression.
Yeah.
It's how he starts off as this pragmatic but well-meaning, high-achieving, arrogant... But like I said, he's fundamentally not a bad guy to begin with. He's just very pragmatic. And by the end, he's a psychotic god delusion, supervillain.
I am the god of this new world of justice.
Yeah. And the fact that there isn't it's been a while since I've seen it, but it doesn't feel like there's one defined moment where the line...
Well, they made so many different changes in the Death Note lore with the American one, because, in the anime, what was the name of his his gothic Lolita girlfriend?
Misa.
Yes, yeah.
Misa.
Yeah, because she's able to see Ryuk after touching the Death Note, but
Yeah.
And anyone's able to see Ryuk after touching a piece of the Death Note, but in the American one, that's never brought up.
I like to think it's because they know that having mere mortals gaze upon Willem Dafoe for any length of time is sure to send them mad.
Well, look what it did to Dim.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because the same thing happened in the anime. You know, that guy on the bus, when he hijacked the bus, and then he handed like a note to the guy, and then he saw Ryu start shooting, and Ryu was just like, huh, okay.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah,
where, like, because he plans it all out, because I think he's being followed at that point, so he's like, I'm gonna...
Yeah, because there's a member of the FBI sitting right behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny that the FBI are in Japan at the point in time, but still.
Yeah. Well, it's no more weird that in the American one, Light's dad starts an investigation into Kira when there's literally no evidence of it being in Seattle at that point.
No, because they all think it's in Japan or whatever.
Yeah,
like, all the shit's going on
he's
in
just
Japan.
randomly decided to investigate it for no reason. Just some
'cause
cop somewhere.
He read the script,
Well, yeah.
presumably.
It's like he really jumps the gun since, as he's looking at the room that's been wrecked by fellow cops that he was going to investigate it in, then he gets a phone call from Elle. It's like, wow, that's ludicrously narratively convenient.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes you think, has there ever been a case of a live-action film being made from an anime that's actually been good? Because that's like, you got the live-action Dragon Ball, which was a pile of shit.
Oh, I was literally sitting there watching Death Note going, I hope Goku shows up.
Dragon Ball Evolution Goku.
Yeah, that one is like, hey bro, what's up? I'm gonna fucking go over here with my Dragon Balls. Yeah!
Yeah, the live-action Attack on Titan, and even though that was made in Japan, it was still shit.
I have not heard good things, honestly.
The only good thing about it is the actual Titan effects. They were actually pretty decent. They were relatively creepy enough, and when you got the Eren Titan and the whole suitmation, I liked that. But then you had things like, oh, there's baby Titans now. I was like, what? No, the Titans can't have babies. No, there's babies now. I was like,
No.
no.
That's not a thing.
And the
Stop that.
And the fact that everyone looked exactly the same. I mean, the only character who was cast perfectly was Hanji. And I'm not saying they look the same just because they're all Asian. Don't get that image in your head. It's just because, in the anime, you had like someone with black hair, someone with blonde hair, someone with red hair, etc. Everyone just had the same haircut and same hair colour.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I
mentioned,
can't tell if that's Eren or Aaron. Or Armin, rather, sorry.
Yeah. Because I remember in the anime, like, they're talking about, like, because humanity's kind of, like, been ushered into, like, a really small enclosed space. And, like, oh, yeah, like, there used to be, like, different continents where people would hang out, and that's why you've got such a melting pot of, like, cultural...
That's why everyone's name is from all over the place.
Yeah,
that reminds me as well, in live-action Attack on Titan, there's cars and tanks lying around.
Oh, because it's set, like, more contemporarily, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
To what end, I have to wonder.
Yeah, I've not seen it. Like, I kind of wanted to see it when I heard that, it was Toho making it, and it was like, okay, I want to see that, and then all the reviews came in, and I was like, maybe I'll leave off for now.
What I should have done was Attack on Titan versus Godzilla.
That would have been so
Yeah.
cool. It's like
Toho owned the license after all, so,
Yeah.
like a bunch of, like, Jaeger pilots trying to take down, like, Godzilla.
What, have Jaeger in a Jaeger fighting Godzilla?
Yes.
While drinking Jaeger.
Yeah.
Or drinking Jaeger. Fuck, dude, that sounds amazing.
I was just seeing him in a Jaeger just screaming, I am now the Jaegermeister, taking a swig. Because he is the master of all Jaegers then.
And his finishing attack is called Jaeger Bomb!
Oh my god. What, you guys, why aren't we, like, selling these ideas to Hollywood? Because holy shit.
Well, it'll be better than
We've got
most of
Death Note with Darkwing Dark. We've got the Jaeger
Did any of you
Jaegers.
guys read the Attack on Titan Spider-Man crossover?
What? No, I didn't know that
How
was
have
a
you not
thing.
known about? Hang on, I'll try and find you a picture. But yeah, there was an Attack on Titan Spider-Man comic crossover. I'm not sure if it was just Spider-Man. It might have been actually no, it was actually the Avengers.
Oh, okay. Because I know, because there's been a few things like that.
Yeah, there's a picture for you.
Because it's like Godzilla is still part of Marvel canon.
Yeah.
Oh god, those Titans.
In fact, it's the Transformers, so I'm waiting for Optimus Prime to show up in the next Marvel movie.
I know this doesn't play well for a listening audience. I'm just kind of dumbfounded by looking at Spider-Man running away from a pair of grinning Titans.
They're so happy, though.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
Spider-Man!
We love the Spider-Man.
How did you feel about Death Note's weirdly 80s vibe
I
for
did
no
not like
reason?
the 80s music. There was no point for that.
No, I mean, considering like the anime, when it did use musical scores, it was pretty much always like classical, neoclassical, that kind of thing. And then they're just going to have... With the 80s vibe, I was half expecting Rick Astley to show up.
Oh god, if that had happened, I would have just
It
moped
wouldn't have been out of place.
Speaking of Rick, I saw a clip from him the other day. He actually performed a metal version of Never Gonna Give You Up with Foo Fighters.
Good.
Oh my god, okay. I can die happy now.
Yeah, I was just disappointed there was no Maximum the Hormone in it.
There really should have been. I mean, like, there were so many little things they could have done. Like, when Dim goes back to his room and he's doodling in the Death Note, he should have been eating chips.
In that dramatic way,
Yeah, it's like, well, even if it was just him just sitting there stuffing, like, just cramming crisps in his mouth, I would have been like, yes, because he's taking a potato chip and eating it! Like, that would have been so good, but no.
that was still a better scene than that one scene from Attack on Titan where everyone's angrily eating their cereal bars.
They're just so mad.
It was also, Death Note was also weirdly gory in places, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, the first kill was, like, crazy gory. I was not expecting that. I mean, I was kind of like, but...
Although I did like how the kills in it were very Final Destination.
They were very Final Destination.
It was like they tried to come up with some justification as to how people get kills by the ways that, you write it in. Like, yeah, the first one's like, oh, he gets killed by decapitation, so it shows the chain of events to lead up to that.
Yeah, like a woman drops a grocery bag, and that somehow results in some teenage shithead getting decapitated.
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do, yeah.
Like, I actually kind of like that. And the one thing I do wonder about the whole thing is, if you had never experienced anything to do with Death Note before, so you didn't have this kind of preconceived idea of what Death Note was, how would you feel about it? Because I don't think it's a terrible story that's being told. It's just such a different story that it makes you kind of go, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I still think they should have just not had Light in it. It should have been some random dude.
Yeah. I think that would definitely have helped.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree, though, at least they didn't go into the whole Mellow and Hope story.
Oh God,
that was dreadful.
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, the Death Note animation ended after L died.
Yeah.
It should just ended there, because that was perfect place. That was perfect time to end. It's like, oh look, it's his students, Hope and Mellow, and one's some weird ginger kid with a bob cut who's obsessed with eating chocolate and dressing in women's clothes. And
it's like
what,
I mean,
what anime am I watching now? What?
Yeah, and that really did bug me, because like, Elle was supposed to be this big, super sleuth, like, massive boner detector. And, like, detective, not detector.
A boner detector is a different thing, my darling.
I've been reading different types of fan fiction, apparently. No. And, like, all this, he's basically, like, they make out he's irreplaceable, no one can match his intellect, and then they're like, oh no, he's dead. Well, we'll just bring 2 more out. It's like, oh, fuck off.
It's fine, we had 2 more in the warehouse,
God damn it. Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think I watched the rest of Death Note after Elle died, but I don't remember much about it.
I just remember
was
sitting
that
there
bad.
going, this is dumb. Yeah, it was just dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the live-action Japanese movies as well.
Yeah, I watched those and they were...
They were better than the Netflix one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they still weren't great.
No, but at least they tried to be loyal to the source material.
Yeah, I mean...
Also, live-action series in Japan as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a drama. It's available on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I watched a few of those and it was terrible.
Oh, was
I
it
remember the
terrible?
guy who played L was awful. It's like the guy in the American Death Note playing L. How he's just like, he's trying to copy the mannerisms of L in the anime, and it's just so cringy.
I really wish they'd stop doing
Just
that.
stop doing it. You can't do it.
Every live-action adaptation, they try and imitate L's way of sitting and picking things up in
Like a twat.
his sweet obsession.
Sweet obsession, that's fine, but the way he sits there and he holds everything kind of like with his elbows like stuck in the air, it's like, that's a bit
It
ridiculous.
just always looks really stupid.
It looks like they're trying to be super like random and hardcore, and it's just a bit weird.
Yeah.
So have any of you seen the live-action Ghost in the Shell yet?
No.
I've seen one scene from it which is like, well, yes, this is your ghost. We're putting it in
I find
the shell.
it weird that they cast Togusa, who like in the anime is like late 20s to mid 30s, and he's like someone who looks like about 60. I was like, I thought he was meant to be the rookie. I mean, the only thing I think was a perfect casting choice was casting Takeshi Kitano as Aramaki. I was like, that's perfect.
God, I haven't seen it in so long.
I'll be honest, I've never actually seen the original Ghost in the Shell.
Oh my god,
I've
you're a
always
fake
meant to.
anime fan. Get out of here.
Hey, I never said I was an anime fan. I do actually have an anime to talk about.
The original movies and the TV series were actually good. The anime TV series, that was good. Standalone complex. Because actually expanded on the characters some more and actually introduced some new ones who actually, weren't utter dicks.
Yeah.
That is always good.
And plus those spider tanks were fucking adorable. Attached coma.
Yeah.
These giant spider tanks with the voice of cute anime girls was like, I want one as a pet.
Konnichiwa.
Like, oh, hello, darling.
Hajimemashite.
I'm going to stop with my
Yeah.
super Japanese-ness.
I did. I have actually watched an anime since the last podcast as well.
Dude.
I watched an entire one, which is super rare for me.
Bible Black?
No, it was not.
Don't Google that, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit, don't Google that.
No, unless you're followers of Slanesh.
Yes, in which case, that'll be fine.
Now, I watched Mob Psycho 100.
Oh, isn't that about the same guy who did One Punch Man?
Yeah, his name's One. I don't think that's his given name. I think that may be a pseudonym.
Oh.
But he's the writer of One Punch Man, and yeah, he also wrote Mob Psycho 100, which is about a small boy who is impossibly powerful.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to One Punch Man in that regard.
Yes,
except
except
One
he
hit
punch
man.
things with his brain. One hit man.
He's more
He's one slap boy.
No, he's more one brain man.
One brain man. I guess that doesn't have the same ring to it
Yeah.
as Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah, it's about this little kid called Mob, who's just, he's just like the most powerful psychic who will probably ever exist.
So he's like an Omega level mutant.
pretty much.
Okay.
It's like Akira. Except without the giant baby.
Big spooky baby.
Big spooky baby.
Fat baby Jane.
But yeah, the whole thing is like him trying to be something, or like actually make something of himself.
Real.
Because even though he's got these powers, he's like, well, these don't matter because I just have these. I need to do something for myself. So he like joins the Body Improvement Club, who are like these bunch of crazy muscular guys who are the most adorable like people in anything ever. Because they're just really nice. It's just kind of pleasant to have a kind of jock stereotype characters, and all of them just be genuinely nice people.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Like not playing on the stereotypes so much.
I was like that guy from Full Metal Alchemist, Armstrong. His little quiff.
Yes.
Oh god, that little curl. What the hell is up with that girl?
Oh, it's like Superman, isn't it? Superman had the kiss girl, didn't he?
Yeah, it was daft as buggery. God dang.
Yes, but he's allowed to be daft. He's an anime character.
Well, I'm not gonna, like, tell him to his face. Well, apart from that, he's not a real thing, but I don't want to get punched in the face.
I did actually do something different with Mob Psycho as well. I actually, for the first time in a very long time, watched the dub of it. Because
Heathen.
I usually hate dubs.
Heretic.
I don't go near them. Because I think it's because
I can't do it because I've been watching anime, like... I watched dubs back in the day when I was a little girl, and it ruined so many stories for me. So by just not being about anything. It dumbed it down and made it stupid and about completely different things.
I'm talking about the Sailor Moon dub.
I'm talking
though,
about
aren't you?
Sailor Moon dubs, which are fucking terrible. And
Oh,
then
is
I
that when they
watched
turned the lesbians into... Oh no, we're cousins. Like,
Oh, they were cousins, which is like, okay, so incest is better.
let's make it worse now.
Yeah. Like, oh no, you see, incest, that's fine. Kids totally get that. But lesbianism, ooh, yucky. It's like, oh my fucking god, stop.
And first, there are certain dubs I don't mind, like the Ghost in the Shell TV series. I didn't mind the dub of that. But like, I watched the sub version of Attack on Titan first, I thought it was really good. Then I made the mistake of watching an episode of the dub version. I was like, oh my god. I mean,
Yeah, I watched it subbed.
it is a terrible dub. Like, the Eren Titan, because in the, the Japanese version, the Eren Titan is like full on, but in the anime it's like, it's like, it sounds like someone just stepped on a cat's tail.
Oh god.
It sounds so fucking wimpy.
Yeah.
I didn't get very far through watching Gurren Lagann dubbed, because as soon as I heard Kamina's voice, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
Well, because he was like, oh, hi, I'm Kamina.
Yeah, he became way too American, and I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, like super cheesy American.
But yeah, but I actually watched through Mob Psycho dubbed because I've from watching. I think it's mostly from kaiju movies. I got used to dubs being universally terrible and you missing things because they remove information or switch things around, and I wanted to watch the original story, so I just always watch subs and never given it much mind. But I realised that I got to this point where I literally would not watch a dub under any circumstances.
I'm
for
still at that
anything.
point, and I can't see a problem with it.
So I thought I'd try and get over it. And the Mob Psycho one's, for the most part, pretty good. So.
I've heard the JoJo dub's pretty good. Like Matt Mercer does a voice in that, and I've been subbing so long, I can't go back to dubs. No shade on anyone who does like dubs, that's fine. I don't think less of you, even though I probably should, but please don't get angry at me.
The problem is with certain anime as well, you just simply can't dub it because you lose like most jokes. Like for example with Polar Bear Cafe, because most of the jokes are the Japanese language puns of words sounding the same, and you lose that entirely with a dub. Because it was like, oh, you mean like walk, talk, but but it's like in the dub version, it'd be something like, oh, kangaroo, banana. It's like that makes no fucking sense.
To be fair, that does sound humorous, but in a completely different kind of absurdist. Look, you know what they say: kangaroos and bananas. What?
I do remember, like, if you...
Speaking of bananas, has anyone seen Banana?
Banana is so good.
It's my second favourite food-based cat anime.
I guess your first is Donyatsu.
Yes, we love Donyatsu. The manga's really weird for Donyatsu.
Oh yeah, they actually address all
like
the
this-
post-apocalyptic stuff.
It's like a post-apocalyptic, like people, like there's just skeletons lying in the street and they're like just carrying on and not noticing. It's like, holy shit, okay. This is fine.
If people at home, if they don't know, Bananya is a cat that is a banana, and Donyatsu is a cat who is a donut.
They should be a crossover.
There should
Yes, absolutely.
be. Banyatsu.
And then someone just does porn of the Banana inside the Donyatsu's hole.
Oh, dude, that's... Please. Look at my Tumblr.
They kind
It's full of that stuff.
I'd rather not.
don't they kind of do something like that in an episode of Donyatsu where
What?
I'm
Pretty sure it is
no,
just
where one of
evolved
them,
into Donyatsu
where one of them,
hentai.
what's the girl cat called?
Oh!
Creamy frosting, I don't know.
Peggy Frosting. Yes, Peggy Frosting.
But yeah, she like gets a stick and jams it in the hole of Donyatsu and the other donut cat that I forget the name of.
Bagel-san.
Bagel-san. And then
Bagel-san's my
and then
favourite.
rolls them like a pair of wheels.
That's...
Which may be a sexual act in and of itself, but I'm not sure. It's not my thing.
You know when you look at something you go, this is porn, but not for me.
Yeah.
So if they're wheels, does that mean it counted as a rim job?
Oh my god, Ram, that was perfect and I hate you. Yes, Donyatsu rim jobs, that's what we're here to talk about today. Okay.
Christ.
I just remember Menshiwawa.
Minchihuahua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, and Kuma Karun.
Yes.
I love Kuma Karun so much.
Is it Kumakaron?
Well, it's Kuma Karan, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because, macaroons and macarons are different things.
Oh, yeah, that always confuses
Yeah,
me.
whatever. But whatever. It's punny.
Yes.
We love it.
I do love it when someone... Because in dubs it's not so bad because they just localise it and usually it loses the joke. But in any frenetic comedy anime, when subs happen and they have to not only write the joke, but they have to write the context of the joke in the sub as well.
editor's notes.
Like editor's notes.
It's like, oh, this means this, and in this context it can't be written like that.
I remember-
Screaming can be heard.
I remember Excel Saga being really bad for
Excel
that.
Saga was really hard to watch subbed, mainly because the woman spoke at about a mile a minute.
I like the dub of Exo Saga. I thought it was actually alright, for the most part.
I tried to get on with it, but I mean, like, the Japanese voice actor for Excel also did Sailor Moon's voice, so I'm kind of, like, biased. So I'm like, I gotta
Funny thing
listen
is,
to it.
I watched Exo Saga second because I actually saw the spin-off first, Puni Puni Poeme.
Oh, that thing! Yeah, I
God.
forgot about that.
Yeah, and I realised it was linked because they both had Nabashin in it, who had his little chibis come flying out of his afro with little katanas and guns and shit. That was awesome.
See, I do actually own... I think in my life, I've only actually ever bought one manga, and that was an Excel Saga one. And it was so far along in a story that it was completely incomprehensible, more so than Excel Saga usually is. Mm-hmm. But yeah...
We should probably stop talking about anime.
Yeah, Mob Psycho's good, so if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. It's funny. It's actually genuinely funny, and even the dub is funny.
Punchline.
Yeah.
So moving on to a different subject then, did you see Robert Patrick's balls?
Okay, so I'm gonna start at the beginning, and I'm gonna get to Robert Patrick's amazingly hairless balls. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in this. So
Don't put a pin in that. Sounds painful.
well, I'm sorry. They're just dangling around there. I gotta pin them to something. I don't want them to get lost or
He's gonna
caught.
pin
on
him
the
to his leg.
Pin him to his leg. It's fine. Oh my god. Anyway, there was a one-day showing, August 29th, 2017, where we went to see Terminator 2 Judgment Day in the cinema. Because the original Judgment Day happened on August 29th, 1997. So, okay.
20 years later, yes.
Yeah. So we went to see it, and it was in 3D, which is pretty good. Took a while to get used to, but I was super hyped, because I remember, Remleiz, you messaged me on Twitter, you replied to me on Twitter, talking about Robert Patrick's amazing balls.
Yeah, because you can actually see them in the film.
No.
Oh, they've edited it.
Yeah, they did. I was so angry. I turned to Wib in the theater. I was like, the fuck is this shit? And I was like, we gotta leave. There's no point in watching the movie now. But
We're all here for Robert Patrick's balls.
That's why Terminator 2 was so good. I mean, the writing was okay, and acting, I guess, was fine, but Robert Patrick's balls. Yeah, they put, like, a bit of, what is it? Like, there's, like, a pillar in front, like, there's some debris. They put it just over his balls. And I'm like...
It's been Lucas.
They did
replace his balls with a radio.
It's better to replace them with Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
God.
We saw Robert Patrick's balls.
Oh, God, no. I can see nothing else. Just fucking upside down, swinging beneath his leg.
Well, his eyes do kind of have a bit of a...
Oh, my
Just
God.
in general, Jar Jar Binks is a bit scrotal, you know?
Scroty. Yeah, no. Just... No. Dear God,
He
please.
looks like he's not a set of human genitals, but he's some alien race's genitals.
Okay.
No, I'll tell you what, he's the evolution of those scrotum frogs.
Ah, yes.
Okay, that
yes.
makes sense.
We were talking about scrotum frogs before the podcast, by the way, people at home.
They're a real thing, by the way. They live in South America.
Yeah, you can Google that. Just, be careful.
Yeah.
Save search on.
Yes. But no, I was quite put out we didn't get to see his glorious balls
In 3D.
in 3D. Because this balls thrusting at me from the screen. That would have been I gotta watch what I fucking say. Oh my God.
They
But
did
yeah.
do a lot of other things. So I looked it up once we came back as to what they changed.
Well, I know that there's the part where the T-1000 is chasing John down the... What are they called?
Storm drains.
The storm drains. And Arnie does, like, the jump into it. But in any other version, you can very painfully see that's a stunt actor.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There's no way they're going to get Arnie to do that. They've like, photoshopped Arnie's face over it, or, like, keyframed it all the way down, and I was like... I really wanted to see just Arnie's double doing that, and then just swap to Arnie kind of, like, shaking on the bike and being like, yes, that was totally me, and just driving along. But, I mean, that was fine.
They did change a few other
Because
things.
it's way more higher def, so I get why they do that.
There's
Was this this version you saw, was it the extended version?
No, it wasn't the director's cut. I mean,
No.
even though it's, like, my favourite movie of all time, I really don't like the director's cut.
Really? How come?
Yeah, I think, like, there's certain bits, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that there's, like, Michael Biehn in there. Or Michael Biehn, because I think he's amazing. I could watch movies with Michael Biehn in them all day, he's great. But, like, there's the other things, like, where at the end, when the T-1000 is pretending to be Sarah, and he's like, oh, John, help me, and he looks down and he sees her feet melding to the steel grating. That always bugged me, because I was like, well... She's asking him for help. I've always kind of thought, like, she's like, oh, John, help me. And he's like, wait, my mum doesn't need help. What the hell? And then Sarah shows up behind him and is like, move. And he's like, that's my mum.
Yeah, but the thing is, the feet melting into the grate, that one shot, that was in the theatrical cut anyway. At least in the director's cut, they explained as to why it's doing that. Because Rob Patrick grabs the ring and it's like he's kind of merged with the ring. It's like, huh. That's not meant to
That is a
happen.
really, really great shot. I do like it when his hands go hazard stripes and he kind of does the shake. I thought that was fucking rad.
That should have been kept in the theatrical release, because at least I explained something. Otherwise, you're like, hang on, why is his feet melting into the railing?
Well, to be fair, I think
I'm not
maybe
sure if that is in the proper version.
it's not in the version that was shown at the cinema.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the one that was shown out this year.
They might have
not
edited
in that
that as
one.
well, though, because they edited it at Arnie, didn't they? So it got Lucas
Yeah.
along with Patrick's balls.
And there's like Sarah Connor's feet replaced with radios and Jar Jar Binks's.
Yeah, like I say, I saw a list of the things that were changed. The balls were explicitly in the list.
I know, I didn't need anyone to tell me that.
There's a minor one that I do really appreciate, which is when the T-1000 drives the big tow truck down into the storm drain.
Mm-hmm. You can see the axle pop off.
Well, you can, but...
yeah, you can see like a big chunk of the tire just fucking fly off.
Yeah, like you see the entire front axle just shear.
Yeah,
and you can look
they just splat. Yeah.
But you see the windows on the front pop out, and then the next scene they're back in.
He's pushed, and then he pushes them out after he comes under the low.
Yeah,
low
but it was digitally put back in, so that the windows stay in when it goes down, so that there's not a continuity error. So I thought that was
I
cool.
have seen that movie at least like 20 fucking times, I would say,
It is a good film.
It is it's so fantastic. I love it. Such perfect casting as well.
Oh yeah, it's one of the few films where you can argue that the sequel was better than the original.
Painfully so. I mean, I came back after that and I watched Terminator 1 again, and it is so 80s and of the time. The music's really kind of like... and you're like, okay, yeah, this is fine. And the hair... The hair.
The one thing I liked about Terminator 1, you know that scene where Arnie's like driving the car and he's looking in the car park, left and right scanning? If you watch it, he moves his eyes first and then moves his head, kind of like if he's actually, a security camera or something. So it's like no waste of motion. So I thought that was a nice little character touch because a machine wouldn't do unnecessary motion, would it?
Yeah.
So it's like moving the eyes
that would be
first,
cool.
then the head. It's like nice touch.
I've never noticed that, and that's amazing.
I just always assumed that Arnie just doesn't move like a human being.
No.
So.
Well, no. Not at all.
Actually, if you notice the weird thing, that everyone always refers to the T-1000 as the T-1000, but no one ever refers
to the T-800 as the T-800.
Yeah, it's always Arnie.
Well, yeah, because Arnie is the Terminator.
Yeah. No one ever calls him the Terminator or anything. It's always Arnie when people are describing the scenes or whatever.
Well, Arnie's one of those, he's an actor that's like George Clooney or Sean Connery. They just play themselves, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's like Jack Nicholson and stuff. It's just...
Yeah.
It's just they're so charismatic and fun to watch that you can just go, oh, Arnie's name is this, like his name is Dutch in this movie, or his name is John Matrix, and it's like, okay, fucking John Matrix, I know.
It's a real name humans have.
God, I love Arnie movies so much. But yeah, like it was so great. I'm so happy I got to see that like big screen because I've loved that movie since I was a little girl. Always loved that movie.
And then Terminator 3 happened.
We don't talk about that. I've still got Genesis. I refuse to pronounce it correctly. Genesis. I've still got that.
You have to do it the same way as like in that Star Trek film. Genesis!
Genesis!
With a Genesis device.
Yeah.
I gotta shake my fist at the sky. But yeah, no. Oh god, it was really good, and I didn't notice many changes, whereas apparently there were a lot.
There's a lot. It's just a lot of little subtle changes. Like apparently in the original version, I'd never noticed it myself, but you can see Arnie's arm behind him when he's ripping his arm off at the end.
Yeah.
Apparently that was altered in this version.
Cool,
I didn't notice it, but apparently it was.
Yeah. I mean, I will say like another thing about the extended edition, like the director's cut. I remember like Dyson having a little girl in that. Like she's running around with her brother Danny.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like Danny, and like the mum turns around and goes, Danny, your sister's in bed, you need to go to bed too. And that always confused me, especially because when Sarah breaks in and starts shooting up the place, they're like, oh, what sister? I don't have a daughter, that's dumb.
Oh, she's just a really heavy sleeper. She slept through the whole thing.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, sure.
You can't get little Susie up. Doesn't matter how much automatic weapons fire there is.
Well, it's probably because she's got a bullet in her head now.
Oh, don't make me sad. Poor little Susie.
It's alright. She was actually a Terminator in disguise. That's good.
Oh, okay.
She was sent back to kill or to look after Dyson.
Yeah, exactly.
She was just really bad at her job.
She was just really bad. Just a really heavy sleeper.
She was undergoing a system update.
Oh god, she was running on Windows 10. Which is why she was just sucking so bad.
Windows 2000.
Oh, God. Yeah, she wasn't shut down properly.
Well, she was now.
Oh!
The weird thing is that when they came out, it was like, oh yeah, you see Terminator 2 3D, and I was like, but I've already seen Terminator 2 3D.
Right.
Because a ride is the wrong way to describe it. and even saying
It
it's
was
like
a four-dimensional experience.
yeah,
Interactive experience.
I think it's called something like Terminator 2 3D Battle Through Time or something. It's
It should have been
title,
Terminator 4D.
which is at Universal Studios.
Was that the one that was also the stage show as well?
Yeah, a little bit. It's
It had the T1 million in it, which was like a giant spider.
it's like it's like a big spider mantis thing. It's weird.
It wants to eat you.
But yeah, the great thing I really like is it's at Universal Studios, and what the way it kind of is arranged is that while you're queuing up for it, like it's like you're going into a corporate presentation,
Like a tour.
yeah,
Here at
of
Cyberdyne Systems,
Yeah,
we care
pretty
about the
much.
future of tomorrow.
like they're showing you footage of like we provide the
shit that's gonna get fucked.
the hardware behind the modern military might of missiles, of drones and things, and it shows all these things they do.
So cool.
And then you go into like a kind of holding area, and whilst you've got this woman comes out and starts talking to you. So we're going to go in now and see the presentation, and then the video feed gets quote unquote hacked by Sarah
Ooh.
and John Connor, and
They
it is
hack the mainframe, I believe.
and it is Linda Hamilton and Ed Furlong. Before I think this was mid Ed Furlong being made of drugs, but they managed to like cotton him for a few hours.
They managed to like dry him out for
yeah.
a couple of hours.
And like, so they're sitting there like, you guys have got to get out of there. This is bad shit. You want to stay away. And then the kind of feed goes back to normal, and they're like,
Jack
oh,
Nicholson pulls the screen aside.
and they're like, oh no, it's fine. And then you go in, and then you have like a live action presentation where all these robots pop up from the side. They're not T-800s. They are these like unique ones.
I like T600s.
Yeah, something like that. And then they shoot. Then they shoot a bunch of targets like in the ceiling. Well, they make it look like they do, and then they go rogue, and then
Kill the audience.
yeah, and then
People actually die.
Yeah.
That's the three-dimensional experience.
but then a really unconvincing Arnie body double comes out on a bike, which bursts through the screen
Okay, that's kind of rad though.
and grabs an also terrible body double of Ed Furlong and goes, "Come with me if you want to live."
No, he goes,
Chopper.
we should probably leave now if you want to survive this.
And then they go back through the screen, and then it becomes a 3D movie.
Okay.
Which is just like a 15-minute movie where, you know,
Shit
you
gets
just get to see Arnie as the Terminator just killing other Terminators, and then they go and fight the T1 million who's defending Skynet, and they blow up Skynet.
Okay, that's
It's
interesting.
kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah. That does remind me, I don't know if either of you guys have seen the deleted scene from, I think, Terminator 3, where they're kind of showing, like, the military guys, like, kind of the advancements with Cyberdyne tech. And they're like, oh yeah, look, and there's basically Arnie. He's like running on a treadmill, and he's not a Terminator, he's just a guy, and he's the Team
Oh,
800.
and he's got like a really hilarious like southern accent.
Yeah, he's like, well, howdy, y'all! My name's Jim McCowboy, and I'm here to talk to you about this new Cyberdyne!
Yeah, they're basically
And you're
like, that voice is terrible, give him a German accent or something.
yeah, and like the guy turns around and goes, we'll fix it. Like in Arnie's voice, and it's like, I hate that this is in Terminator 3, because that would be a great skit on its own.
Yeah.
Because I was just seeing, because like, Arnie, like, as Jim McCowboy, he literally picks up like a model of the face of the T-800 and goes, oh, it's me! And it's like, oh my god. It's so bad, I love it.
Speaking of Arnie doubles, do you remember the CGI Arnie from Terminator Salvation?
That was creepy, and
I will say this about Terminator Salvation. I'm glad it was the first Terminator film to try and mix things up a bit by saying, okay, let's not just try going backwards into the past, let's have it in the actual future now, see what's actually happening. It's like, okay, fair enough, at least they've taken it somewhere different, so you can't fault them for that.
yeah, that was
They at
definitely
least
like a good
tried.
thing that they tried. I mean, I don't think it landed very well.
I think the best part about it is that we bought it cheap on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
it was like a couple of quid.
It was a
from
couple of quid from some random like shop. So
and
I
we
was
were like, yeah, sure, let's give this a go. I won't give away the twist because it's not the oldest film.
No,
It's a shit twist, though.
It's a shit twist.
that you can see coming a mile
Yeah,
away.
but you know that really shit twist that you can literally work out in the first 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, it's one of those.
And that it acts like he's a surprise in the last, 20 minutes.
They might as well just play the dun dun dun.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as the one from Terminator Genesis, where the big twist is on the
I haven't
fucking
seen it
movie
yet.
poster.
Oh god, really?
yeah.
Oh. Is it the fact that Arnie's actually a Terminator?
Dun, dun, dun.
To be
But
fair,
the twist in Salvation is literally ruined on the back of the Blu-ray
they
case.
put it on the back of the Blu-ray case.
Oh
Because I
god.
turned it over and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew immediately. I was like, shit. I mean, I don't care.
I mean, the thing is, I'd worked it out because you saw that and said, "No, don't look at the back of the case." And then we watched it,
And
and then
I said there'll be a twist because almost all movies have twists now. See when you can clock it.
Yeah.
And you got it within the first 10 minutes.
yeah.
And it's like, well,
Got
there we
Shyamalan.
go. God.
Oh Christ!
But yeah.
Speaking of weird things and robots, who else remembers the fact that in WCW, RoboCop came down to save Sting from Ric Flair?
Oh my god.
That-
I didn't know that. That sounds like it's life changing.
That's legit. Sting was locked in a cage by the Four Horsemen. RoboCop comes walking slowly down the aisle, rips the cage door off, and then walks back. That's it.
he was on his coffee break and he was like, ah, shit.
But the thing is,
You see,
the pay-per-view was called The Return of RoboCop, and he comes in for like 5 minutes and pisses off. That's it.
That was probably the maximum amount of screen time they could afford.
Probably.
Well, the person in the suit dies of dehydration.
Well, I can't remember.
If they'd have it on for like 10 minutes. So.
The guy who actually played RoboCop.
Oh,
I can't remember
fuck!
his name.
Forget his name now.
Damn. But I remember seeing a picture of him, like, he's like, there's a part in, I can't remember which one it is, where he's driving around in the car. And
Yeah.
he's literally just not wearing trousers or the bottom half of the suit.
Yeah.
Because it was so hot. He's literally just in his pants. Just driving around
But with the top half of
with
Robocop.
the top half of RoboCop. It's like,
Driving in my car. Do, 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 do.
I refuse to wear pants here.
La, la,
Well, to be fair, who the fuck would have the balls to ask RoboCop to put on trousers?
It's a fair point.
Yeah. I hope I can see Terminator 1 on the big screen one day, just so I can see Arnie's, like, massively floppy dingle on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because he approaches Bill Paxton, God rest his soul, and, like, a bunch of the other
I
ne'er-do-wells
just find it-
with the chiggliest peen.
It is flopping around. Yeah.
It is going nuts. It's just like,
Then
it's
you
so
watch- then you
hyped
watch
to
the-
be in a Terminator
When
movie.
you watch it on the big screen and it's been remastered and they made it as like as big as a horse cock or something.
They've put like fucking Robert Patrick's face over it.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. Misa's so floppy.
You know, I've just realised.
Hands are over your boots and your motorcycles.
I've
Oh
realised
my god.
people are going to get a weird idea about us. I just remembered we have an entire podcast called Will Smith's Dick and Balls, dedicated to the fact you can see his dick and balls in Wild Wild West.
Oh, we should change the podcast so it's us pointing out when you can see people's dicks and balls in movies.
It's like, you got the balls to show this?
That's a good name.
If you
yeah.
if you want to see Willem Dafoe's dick and balls, I think you in Antichrist.
Yes.
Also, bad things happen to his dick and balls in
Didn't
that
they use a
movie.
stunt dick and balls? Because apparently he was, quote from the director, frighteningly large.
I have heard that. Yes,
That's something I never needed to know
I've
about
not
Willem Dafoe.
actually seen the movie because I try not to watch movies where bad things happen to penises.
Okay, that's fair.
So don't watch Black Sheep then. You know that film about the mutant killer sheep.
Oh, yeah.
There's a guy who literally has his dick bitten off by a sheep. But going back briefly to talking about Bill Paxton, don't you find it funny that he's the only person to have been killed by the Terminator, the Predator, and the Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, he was around everywhere back in those days.
He
Yeah.
was awesome.
God. Oh, yeah. Poor bugger.
And I am biased. Like that's the sort of era of movies that I like.
I
most.
love 80s, early 90s action movies. Perfect. I love that stuff.
I still maintain that a lot of the films from the... Funny enough, a lot of films from the 90s still have better effects than what they do today. I mean, if you compare Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 1993, and it still looks like a million times better.
God, it still looks so good. I mean, like, did you hear about the amount of troubles they had, like, in the T-Rex pen? With the big animatronic?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just anyone who doesn't know, because of the water, it would occasionally, after about, I think it was like half an hour of shooting, it would seize up and just start juddering and, like...
Get the shake.
So it would start shaking violently, which I don't know what's more frightening, honestly.
I mean...
So yeah, it's like...
Even when you compare, like, one of the worst films, like Jurassic Park 3, at least you still have that image with the animatronic Spinosaurus in the rain with the fire. That looked fucking awesome. I mean, there was a shit film,
yeah.
but that was an awesome scene.
Absolutely. It's like, come on. practical effects, they are so cool. So my personal favourite is if they use a lot of practical effects, and maybe if they have to do anything, they can just touch it up with special effects, like 3D stuff.
I mean,
it's like,
the problem.
don't go full 3D.
The problem with 3D effects these days is that a lot of people are using them as a cheap way and not even bothering to composite the shot because of it. I mean, if you look at something like, say, the remake, the 80s version of The Thing, or Aliens, for example, the practical effects now were amazing. Then you look at the later remake of The Thing, which was shit, and like
it was
and then things like Alien versus Predator, it was shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I still think
the original Thing was so perfect though.
What, the one from the 30s?
No, not Planet.
John Carpenter's
John
The Thing.
Carpenter's The Thing. You sarky shit. You know what I mean. But yeah, God,
Someone would point out.
Yeah, someone will like totally slam me for that. But yeah, like lighting the whole thing by basically flare light, and having all those practical effects, and just what a perfect movie.
John Carpenter's The Thing is my favourite horror film of all time.
It's so perfect. It's like, even till this day, I can't really watch it on my own because I'm a massive wuss. Like when they chase the guy outside and he's like half done.
Yeah.
That still freaks me the fuck out. I'm like, no. And then they remade it and just didn't get what made it so good.
They remade it into John Carpenter's The Thing by John Carpenter.
Yeah.
The thing with the thing with the remake prequel thing that they made.
Couldn't really decide because I mean at the end in the end of like mid credit sequence they started chasing the dog.
Well, yeah, because the one that was made a few years back is just a prequel, but they also just call it The Thing just to make things more awkward because it's sort of a remake but not.
Yeah.
But apparently they did originally do it all with practical effects. And then the studio came in and went, that looks like shit, redo it in CGI.
And then they should have just burned them all and just left them in the snow.
Yeah.
And done what they wanted.
Turn into a snuff film.
Yeah, turn into a snuff film. Oh, God.
I think they are on YouTube somewhere. You can see the original practical effects they did.
Snuff film. Okay, that's
No,
fine.
not a stuff film. No.
Oh, speaking of films and production, have any of you guys heard about the actual production history of Ghostbusters 3? Not the crappy reboot, the one with Bill Murray and the like. And the amount of troubles that had, that I remember Angry Video Gamer stating that should have been made into a film all by itself. Just imagine seeing like Dan Aykroyd chasing Bill Murray over a Ghostbusters 3 script on a golf cart or something.
I don't know anything about that.
No, all I know is that, it was in development hell for, basically since Ghostbusters 2.
And then the Ghostbusters video game for PS3 and Xbox came out, and that's Ghostbusters 3, let's be honest.
Yeah, I've heard it's not bad, actually. I never got around to playing it.
The story's really good. The fact that you got all the original cast in was brilliant. So you can just watch all the cutscenes on YouTube. It's like, I'm watching Ghostbusters 3.
Nice.
It's better than that reboot piece of shit.
I do always like that when there is a sort of soft sequel in like another medium. Like when they did the Back to the Future Telltale game, that was sort of like another Back to the Future thing.
Oh, I liked that. That was good.
I thought that was actually really good. And they had that guy who sounded exactly like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. He was a brilliant sound but they still got Doc Brown in though, so...
Yeah. Oh, he did sound like he was super
you could tell.
old.
Yeah, you could tell he was a lot older. But
God, I love Christopher Lloyd though.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, I'm always kind of a fan of that because, like, ultimately making something like a Telltale game is a lot cheaper than making another movie.
Yeah. You see that they're talking about, Telltale. They're talking about making Wolf Among Us 2, which I am super fucking psyched about, but they're also talking about wanting to make a Black Mirror game.
Oh, God.
Huh.
Like Charlie Brooker's like Black Mirror, and I'm like, I don't know. See, Charlie Brooker might be up for that because he's a massive gamer. But at the same time, he's also a pragmatist, and he's not just going to sell rights off because.
I would rather see a Telltale game of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how a Black Mirror game could work.
No, seeing every single story is unrelated.
Yeah, it's like...
I mean, I guess what you could do is have each episode seem unrelated, but then the last episode ties them all together. I guess that's what you could do.
I just remember that joke, how the first episode of Black Mirror is actually a political documentary.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good documentary.
And the fact that came out before it as well, is like, whoa, that's kind of freaky.
Oh god, I remember Charlie Brooker actually had to comment because his Twitter blew the fuck up after that. Like when that happened. This is like, oh, fantastic. But yeah, I think they should like turn that into a Telltale game.
What?
Yeah, like
Bacon
hammer
game.
A to fuck pig.
Well, if you can have
Press B to hold back the tears.
Oh god.
press X to confess to your wife.
Oh shit's getting dark. Well, you know, like Black Mirror is pretty dark, so that works out actually.
Press Y to rescue princess.
God damn.
You know, we're getting dangerously close to talking about video games on
I
this
know.
thing that is ostensibly a video game podcast.
I know. That's what everyone like joins in to listen to us talk about things that aren't video games.
I have no idea what people listen to this for.
I don't
have no earthly idea.
But talking about like Telltale games, I am super excited. Well, no, I'm not because I'm a cold dead husk and I can't feel emotions anymore. But I'm kind of interested in about having a Wolf Among Us 2.
Yeah.
Because I love the Wolf Among Us like first one. So
It was a good game, yeah.
Yeah, Wolf Among Us is my...
that was so. I've been meaning to kind of reinstall it and play it.
It's my favourite Telltale game, so...
It's very good. I mean, I haven't played The Walking Dead, but I'm just so done on zombies.
I like The Walking Dead. I've still got to play Season 2, but Season 1 was really good.
I've heard nothing but good things.
And I'm not a fan of the TV show either, so...
I
Interesting TV show.
think the problem for us is that the Walking Dead game came out like dead centre of
Yeah.
us getting absolutely sick and fucking tired of zombies in everything, and then everyone telling us, oh my god, you've got to play it, it's super good, it's not about the zombies, it's about the people, and then I'd not always calmly explain that that's been the case of zombie fiction since Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
You're a cranky old man.
So that's not a way to sell it to me.
In fairness, at least zombies have undergone better treatment than what vampires have.
Oh, yeah.
Poor vampire. And werewolves. Ugh, werewolves have been turned to shit.
Not as bad as the vampires, because everyone likes vampires because they're pretty.
The best version of vampires is still the ones from Discworld, so...
No, that is true. They are very, very cool. But I mean, come on, like, werewolves are amazing. And I shan't hear
Apart from
them.
the ones from Twilight, who just turn to giant, badly CGI dogs who fall in love with babies.
They're big dogs that talk like they're in an old soap opera. Like, oh my god, Jacob, I saw you talking to, I don't know, token female number 4.
I was watching Neighbours the other day. Oh man,
I was watching Neighbours. Do you really... I really think that Harold's the coolest character. God, why do we always talk about Harold from Neighbours?
Because he's just... He's...
It's where Kylie Minogue got her big break. Because she would be so lucky.
Oh, yeah, but, like, I'm sorry, but Harold is so much better and more talented and more attractive than Kylie Minogue.
And he can play the tuba.
He can play the tuba. So, you know, he's a dreamboat.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
What?
Harold! Anyway, video games. We should probably talk about video games.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Harold, the Dream Daddy, I have actually been playing Dream Daddy.
Yes.
It's actually really fun. It's a dating game where you date hot daddies.
I have not played it. I have no intention to play it after seeing the reactions of most of the fan base being the most toxic since Overwatch.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Shit.
Yes.
We'll get to talking about your favourite game, Overwatch, soon. Don't worry, man. It's fine. No, I mean, I've kept away from the fandom, and I'm just enjoying the game itself, and I think it's pretty fun. Like the daughter character is really cool, and like it's really eerie because it starts out and it's like, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, like we won't find those pictures of you from your ska band," and I'm like, "Child, what do you know?" Oh my goodness!
And it turns out the dad's actually Shugs from Madness.
Oh god, that would make that game so much cooler. But no, like I got introduced to the clear cut. Like he looks like 76 from Overwatch. Sorry, Ram, but he's kind of like he's the all American boy, and he's got like the sweater over the shoulders and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yes, you'll have to come to the family barbecue." And he's so clear cut, and he freaks me the fuck out. I don't like him. He's like,
I bet he listens to the American Males entrance theme. You know, American Males, American Males, American Males. If you haven't watched WCW, you wouldn't understand. But hey,
that's all he listens to every single day. That's what initially tipped me off. But no, like I'm convinced he's like befriending me so he can sacrifice me and use my blood to summon like Cthulhu.
Buff Bagwell.
Yeah, something's going on there. Like
He's going to summon Buff Bagwell.
I don't know what that is.
Buff Bagwell. He was one half of the American Males. And finally enough, he's also now a male prostitute after his wrestling career ended.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, best
He
of
was
luck to
known
him.
for he's buff, he's tough, and he has the stuff that you can't get enough. That's his tagline.
You see,
That's a pretty good slogan for a prostitute, to be fair, so...
As someone that knows basically nothing about wrestling, every time I hear something about wrestling, You see, the reason I'm not into it is because when I was a kid, all the people at my school would argue to the hilt that it was all real.
Oh.
And I'd sit there and go,
that's
but it's
unfortunate.
not. It's obviously not. And the more I hear about it, the more stupid the people I went to school with appear.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
These weren't like 4-year-olds either. I'm talking like teenagers
I thought you
here.
were saying, like, oh, half of them were 30. Like,
And they were held back a lot.
30-year-olds. Like, yeah, you're right, that's fine. But no, like, I remember, like, guys at my school, they would think it was real as well. But I never talked to them about wrestling, because they didn't really want to talk to me about wrestling, because girls can't be into wrestling.
Oh, people would just talk at me about it.
Hey, do you like how wrestling is... Like, yes, okay.
Okay.
That's great.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Oh!
Do you want to also hear about the football? No, I'm okay, thank you.
Not the football.
Not the football.
Oh, I don't like the football.
Hey, you want to play the football? I go skateboard. I'm a cow.
Hey, fellow humans, wanna go footballs? No.
About Dream Daddy, anyway.
About Dream Daddy, there's lots of daddies in there. And, yeah, don't know what else to say, really. It's very well written. And you can get, because it's, like, to do with Game Grumps, so you can get, like, Aaron and Danny hair. And, like, Aaron and Danny costumes. And it's like, yeah, fine, that's great. I mean, I didn't go for that.
Woohoo.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I guess.
I don't like Game Grumps.
Yeah, I haven't watched them in a while, so... I mean, they seem like really cool dudes, and Egoraptor is king of internets.
God, you're showing your age with that fucking
I really
saying that.
am! I remember the Awesome series!
I remember Metal Gear Awesome. That was awesome.
Metal Gear Awesome was so great.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I always
Oh
have a
my
bit
god,
of a...
hardness, I want to bang you. David Hayter actually said that on radio. I love that man.
I do have a soft spot for Egoraptor just because he's one of those internet people that was around when I was sort of first really getting into
Yeah.
like internet kind of
He's
content.
internet granddaddy.
I still remember when I first got on, like, in discovering internet culture. One series I used to watch all the time was Bebo, the cat what has facial hair. It's this cat with a mustache and beard, and he just smokes cigarettes, and his owner's like this 80s person with huge hair, and they have such stupid plots. It's like, I say, hello, Bebo. Hey, what are you doing? No, shit, you're smoking. No, I kick your ass!
God, that doesn't sound anywhere near as, like... That sounds way weirder than what I used to watch, which was, like, Blowed.
Oh, the old Joel Veach stuff.
Joel Veach and stuff, like, Blowed and Friends.
Rathergood.com.
Rathergood.com.
Yeah.
And it had the crab of ineffable wisdom. So, like,
I used to watch Newgrounds quite a lot.
Oh, Newgrounds. I remember, like, yeah, I think the only things I really watched on Newgrounds were, like, the Awesome series. And, like, a bunch of... all I would watch to do...
Oh, and Salad Fingers.
Salad Fingers freaked me the fuck out. I hated Salad Fingers.
Oh,
I remember Pit...
oh, fuck. What's his name? Because it's fatpie.com.
Oh, God, what's his name? Because didn't he do stuff for Charlie Brooker?
He has actually, yeah, to
Yeah.
kind of feed that back around, yeah.
Charlie the Unicorn and all that. That was a good one.
Sean the Non-Believer! Sean!
I
Fucking
also
hell.
remember Kill Frog as well. With, like, the Evil Piggy show. It's like the three little pigs that are evil, and they're, like, killing people, and there's, like, they had the Ultimate Survivor, had all these weird characters. They had, like, three, so they had Ultimate Survivor Africa, and Ultimate Survivor Afghanistan.
God, that reminds me of stickdeath.com.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
fuck,
awesome.
getting old.
That's going back a ways now.
I remember on my dial-up internet loading up GIFs.
Super Beat.
Super Beast,
The
yeah.
red stick figure.
Yeah, that just kept just mauling
And
and
came out to Rob
like,
Zombie
maiming
songs.
people horribly. Yeah, like, what?
You know,
The internet was a very strange time.
you know the really depressing thing is that you realise that
We're old.
there are people who are going to be listening to this
Yeah, we're very
who
old.
were born after stick death stopped being relevant.
Oh, don't say that.
Because, I mean, I assume stick death probably still exists.
I mean, it's
I'm
probably
gonna check
still
that.
out
I'm
there.
going to check that right now.
This is when you find out that it's actually, the domain has been sold to, like, a really messed up porn site.
No, that's Stick Games. Redirecting me to. SD Reborn. Stick Death Reborn.
Oh.
Oh, so it does still exist.
But something called Weebly.com.
Weebly.
And you can't access
Not
it.
like Weeble. Oh.
But apparently all the things are on YouTube, though, so it looks like so.
Yeah, fair
Okay.
enough. But yeah, and Weeble as well.
Weeble and Bob.
Oh, I used to be...
Weeble and
Yeah,
Bob.
I used to be
Yeah,
well
man.
into Weeble and Bob. I actually had a blog on their old website.
All right.
Because I was on the forum a lot.
Do you remember when the DVD
Showing
came out and they had to change it to Wobble and Bob for copyright reasons?
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Weebles wobble but don't fall down.
What?
Weeble's a real thing.
Yes.
It's a brand of toy. Weebles. They're like things that are weighted in the bottom so they won't fall over.
Oh, you mean the weird egg things that...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what that's called? The Weeble?
Yeah, they're called Weebles.
That's creepy. It sounds like a bug.
So that's why that's why it was called Wobble and Bob. When cause they also, I think they also showed them on like MTV or something.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I am out of it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God.
A lot of the time
He's still doing stuff, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He's doing stuff like Tom Scar and all that.
Yeah, I watched a video of his the other day that had what was it? It was Tom Scar, Boogie, Jack's Films,
Yeah.
and Ashens and Dan Bull were in it.
They were all twerking.
Yeah, twerking.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had that song stuck in my head since.
Tom
Thank you.
Scar seems to be
Yeah.
moving over to more legitimate. Well, I say legitimate to more mainstream media because he's doing stuff with the BBC now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done a few things with the BBC. I think like he does a lot of like sketches for his main channel a lot as well too. Not really into the Astif movies. Those are things I think he still does, but
Yeah, every 6 months or something. Yeah.
yeah.
He does them because they pay the bills, I think.
Yeah, no, that's
Just fair
hey,
enough.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I still enjoy watching them. You know, they've gotten better as they've kind of gone along.
Yeah, I think it's the sort of thing with him and the BBC is that he was doing sketches to hopefully get picked up for a sketch show, but it never happened.
Yeah.
But at least he got the sketches, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
done at like
Like, he did like a
quality.
video that had like Sir Killalot from Robot Wars in it.
Yeah, he did. I remember that.
The one where he was dressed up in the owl fursuit.
Yeah, I remember him actually because I follow him on Twitter, and he was like, "Yeah, is anyone in Scotland with a fursuit available? PM me."
Which is a sentence you never want to have to say on Twitter.
You're just like, okay, and so yeah, some guy just showed up in his fursuit, and it's like,
Oh god.
that's awesome. That's great. I'd like to think that that's just what that person looks like. But they're not human. They're just
I'm
literally
just
just
an
a
owl.
fursuit.
I can just de-skin myself at will.
What? That's their skin underneath. They have to put a human suit on top of it.
And the thing is, it doesn't even change the shape. It's just this horribly malformed, like owl-shaped skin glove thing.
Well, yeah, you can't exactly put skin over, wings, can you? Because that's so
Yeah.
big.
God,
It
Max.
just looks like it's got
Well,
elephantitis in its forearms. Like, I am human. Hello.
I am not suggesting that he wouldn't look like a Cronenbergian nightmare afterwards.
You look like that pile of dogs from the thing.
You know those monsters from Silent Hill 3? With those big boxing
Oh.
glove arms? That's basically what the owl looks like in human skin.
But with a smiley face.
Yes.
Because they're super happy. And laser eyes. Because I'm pretty sure that's how he kills
Laser
Sir
eyes.
Killalot, is with laser eyes. Or like that weird psychic stare. Where they just explode.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure like explosions and eyes that cause it are a thing.
You've made at least 3 people happy anyway, because anytime, on the few occasions I've brought up Robot Wars in podcasts, streams, or videos...
I've shouted at you and told you to shut up.
Yeah, well, people... there's like a small group of people in the comments who are just like, yay, Robot Wars!
I still remember when that show was hosted by Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh shit, yeah, originally it
Yeah.
was.
And then it was Craig Charles, and now it's Dara O'Brien.
Yeah.
Dara O'Brien is such a darling.
I
So
never
was Craig
s-
Charles, to be fair.
Clarkson.
But
Yeah.
fuck Jeremy, whatever his name is. I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
He's all hair.
Not anymore, he ain't. He's old now.
Oh, really?
He's old now.
He's old and bald now. That's
Do
fine.
you know that Jeremy Clarkson actually very briefly did video game journalism?
I did not know that.
Does he play video games?
I think he was in the magazine that actually Charlie Brooker, we keep coming back to him, that he started off in.
It always comes back to Charlie Brooker.
Let me guess, he was reviewing Gran Turismo.
This
I
game
don't
is
remember.
very bad.
I think it was back in like the kind of Spectrum days.
Oh, shit.
Like it was like an early job of his, like between like major things. He went and did that for a couple of months. I can't remember if he was any good at it. I can't imagine so.
No, I can't imagine it would be.
But yeah, he did do video game
I did
reviews
like-
very
We
briefly.
are skirting.
I did like Clarkson's video, though, where he actually had a race between a G-Wiz electric car and a wooden table. And the table won.
I mean, okay. I don't even want to know any details. It's a table won a race. That I'm happy. That's all I need.
I do remember, like, when I was a kid, I had a VHS that was one of his standalone things that he did that was sort of, in a way, they were kind of a prototype for the remake of Top Gear.
Mm-hmm. Top Gear Light.
Yeah, sort of. But it was just him. And they had a bunch of cars that were weird converted ones. So there was like the sofa where the steering wheel is like a pizza, tin. Yeah,
That is pretty clever.
and the shed that is just a quad bike inside a shed.
That feels like it's cheating.
It's a bit cheating.
Yeah.
And there's like a boat that was a 3-wheeler on the inside, so that had a habit of tipping over at speed. And yeah, he had a race with them, which was an interesting thing
Yes.
that I have witnessed with my own eyeballs.
Well, today I learned.
Yeah.
And it's still better to have him on Top Gear than it was to have Chris Evans. And to any Americans listening, not Chris Evans who's Captain America, we're talking about the awful radio presenter, ginger person, Chris Evans.
Who married Billy Piper for a while.
Yeah.
And then she divorced him and took all his money.
Oh, shit, really? Damn.
Yeah, it's... No, I don't think anyone comes out of that story happy or good.
Well, it's like Billy Piper, she got a shit ton of money, but at the same time she had to share her bed with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
That could have been pleasant. Oh, speaking of it, this is tying back to Chris Evans and tying back to video games. There's a link.
Oh, I don't know. What are you trying to seriously steer the conversation towards video games?
Yes, while still
Oh my
while
God.
still focusing on Chris Evans. Did you
Okay.
know back in the early 90s that Sega released a water safety video featuring Echo the Dolphin, Sega Pirate TV, if any of you remember that, which had Spud Gun from Bottom in it as the main character, and a
Good.
What do they call him? Spud gun.
give him a potato, I'll show you.
Yes, thank you.
Why do they call you Dave Hedgehog?
Give me a hedgehog and I'll show you.
It also had David Hasselhoff and some other cast from Baywatch.
Fucking what?
And Chris Evans all talking about water safety. No joke.
That sounds like a fever
In
dream,
fact,
dude.
I-
Holy dang.
On my channel, in my liked videos playlist, I actually have that video saved because I was looking for that for well over 8 years.
Shit.
Because I remembered it, I couldn't remember if it was a fever dream I had or not. Which,
God.
in fact,
See, that reminds me of the Nigel Mansell racing advert from I think it was from the early 90s. You remember Nigel Mansell, the Formula One racing driver?
oh yes.
Who had a fine mustache. There was an advert where Rick Mail was in it, and it was his entire family was Nigel Mansell, so they were all had the small mustache
God,
that
that
Nigel
was
Mansell
creepy,
had.
Oh, God.
Old video game adverts were fucking weird because they couldn't show the games because the games were fairly basic to look at because it was,
They had to sell you on a theme.
so they just make these weird comedy skits.
Fuck, do you remember that one that was, I think it was actually banned, I think it was for the Xbox, where a woman gives birth?
Oh, the guy goes shooting out with, yeah.
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 Yeah, and then he's just flying through the air, aging, and then he gets so old he dies.
It's like, life's
Yeah,
short,
'cause
play more. Xbox.
Yeah, and it's just like,
Oh, no.
what?
Did any of you see the banned Sega Saturn advert? That in just in Europe.
No.
That a guy who's playing in the race car and ends up having the car crash, his eyes get sucked out of his skull and stuff.
Fucking
That
hell.
sounds fucking brutal.
I'll try and find it. Yeah, this is the one. It was like a 2-minute long advert. But yeah, this guy sits in a race car, has his tubes go to his eyes get sucked out of his skull, and he's playing Daytona USA. And at the
Fucking
end,
hell.
you've got this guy going he's being carried away on a stretcher. He's got a huge crown of thorns on his head like Jesus, and you got this other guy going saying, "Reality always hurts." Welcome to the real
That
world.
sounds-
Sega Saturn.
That honestly sounds like an old art film.
That was the thing. The one that always kind of sticks in my head, and it's not like the most it's not messed up or anything, but it was an old advert it was Tekken 3, and it was just a pair of scorpions fighting in a post-apocalyptic
that,
wasteland. And it was and you sit there and you go, okay, right, that was an interesting
Oh.
set of imagery you've thrown at me. What the fuck is that going to do with Tekken 3? tree. It's not got a dinosaur farting on a man made of wood.
Did any of you see that Australian advert for like a Guitar Hero knockoff for the DS? Literally, it's got his kid's birthday, and his mum comes in singing "Happy Birthday," and the kid goes like, "What the hell is this? Fucking sponge cake?"
Yes, and he like flips it. He's like, "Fuck you, mum."
And it's just,
like-
has the picture of what the game is like. Okay.
Oh, isn't it like it's so realistic you'll think you're a rock star, and then because he's acting like a complete brat.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what the fuck's wrong with sponge cake? Sponge cake is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's not like I don't know. Cheesecake's pretty good.
So what would be the high end of baked goods in this case, if not sponge cake? What's the high quality shit?
Chocolate fudge cake, maybe?
Oh, fuck off with your
Common.
chocolate.
I guess it depends on how...
Ooh, get the class system involved now. I'm gonna step out as a colonial.
It's like we all know the upper class cake is red velvet cake, but anyway,
Oh, yeah. Fuck
I've heard
that.
that's really overrated and kind of shit.
you heard wrong.
It's fine.
You know what the upper class cake is? Carrot cake, because they think it's fancy because it's got carrot in
It's
it.
disgusting. Like coffee cake.
Carrot cake can fuck off. Every corner of the earth, it needs to fuck off.
I think what we need to establish is a baseline, because there is one controversial cake opinion, which we need to establish a baseline so we know where we all sit.
Okay.
What's everyone's opinion on Battenberg?
Battenberg can suck my dick. It's the worst.
Below average. It's low tier.
It's gross.
Good, because
It's shit tier, by the way.
if it's in the room and it's the only cake to eat, I'll eat it. But
If it's in the room and it's the only cake to eat, I will literally
You
kill a
bite
man
and you
with
can
it.
feel all the sugar from grinding on your teeth when you just bite into the sponge. Like,
I hate the consistency.
And yet
It's
some
gross.
people go fucking nuts for Battenberg, and it's
think
like,
you
this
mean-
is objectively a bad cake.
We can't refer to those people as people.
We're not going down that road. That's a dangerous road.
let's be honest, if the choice was between Battenberg or Victoria Sponge, everyone would go for the Victoria Sponge.
Victoria
Oh, yeah.
Sponge is way better.
I don't trust anyone that wouldn't go for Victoria Sponge in that position. I'm not saying they're bad people, but if I had kids, I wouldn't leave my kids with them, you know what I mean?
No, that's fair, that's fair.
What's your view on Bakewell tarts?
I like Bakewell tarts, but I still think they're kind of low tier.
I used to like Bakewell tarts a lot, but I think I just ate a lot of them as a kid. And I kind of overdosed on them a bit.
What about mince pies? Because those are the shit.
I'm not a mince pie guy, honestly.
No, mince pies are vile.
Surrounded by heretics, I can't believe this. Mince pies are great because they're a cake you can have booze with. And it's the only cake you can have booze with. I don't care if you're going to come up with a bunch of other cake.
Excuse me, Christmas pudding.
Okay.
Christmas pudding is a big mince pie without the pastry.
But you
Fucking is.
Fucking it.
You can sit there and drink any alcohol with any cake. As I say, you can sit there and eat one of those caterpillar cakes on your front lawn with a can of Stella and only...
Oh my god! That's the most depressing thing I've ever fucking... Can of White Lightning, Colin birthday cake, ooh, you're set to go. It's like, that's... Oh god, you know what's worse than like sitting on your lawn with a can of Stella and a Colin caterpillar cake?
A bottle of Stella.
Oh no.
Bottle of White Lightning.
But the can of White Lightning and some Battenberg.
Oh, that's when you know your life's just
Yeah.
gone down some dangerous paths.
Ooh.
One classy, me. You gotta be classy for the mates, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So fucking classy.
Welcome to the MisanthroPod. We are now about cakes.
First of all, we were all about Robert Patrick's balls. Now we're all about cakes. That's the way it goes.
how about cake shaped like Robert Patrick's balls?
Oh my god, that would be weird, because I think that'd be a bad thing, because it'd be mostly like that marzipan icing, which I hate.
Yeah, but
Because you got to get the crinkles in there.
You can get like
you
cake
get some chocolate
shapes.
springs representing a pubic hair or something.
I don't think he has any ball pubes.
Well, not anymore. He went through time, didn't he? We'll go see it off.
That's why it always confused me. It's like, okay, why do they have any head hair? I mean, I'm fine, but whatever.
Well,
And couldn't you like surgically implant a gun into your butt or something? Or yeah, just shove like a derringer up your ass and boom, you have a weapon.
Just poos out a knife.
couldn't you just like get a couple of slabs of meat? Couldn't you just get like,
Handle first.
couldn't you just get a couple of slabs of meat and then just put a gun between them, then sew them together, and then you have like a meat bag?
A meat bag.
A person.
A handbag.
handbag.
So you suggesting?
And then you can transport future tech through time.
Okay, first movie doesn't count because that is a massive mad dash. Because the Terminator's already gone through and he has to leap through because
Yeah.
there's no time. And
Absolutely.
then the building gets destroyed. The second one, they literally could just sew loads of guns into ham.
Oh, that reminds me.
And just take it-
Speaking of this, How the hell did the one in Terminator 3 go back? Because she doesn't have skin. It's liquid metal.
Well, neither does Robert Patrick either.
So Robert Patrick, yeah. How do they
shit.
go through? It's liquid metal. They're not covered in skin.
Science.
Science.
Yes, because what they did was they sewed them into meat pouches.
I think we all saw Patrick's meat pouch.
Well, yeah, it was left over. He just crawled out of it. So.
That's a point as well, considering the fact you could see all that. Why would a Terminator need to have genitals grown anyway? If it's just literally just so they can disguise themselves. So they're not going to be walking around naked around, the rebels. It'd be like, "Sup, John Connor? Just going for my normal midnight stroll in the moonlight naked. I'm not a Terminator, honest.
I'm not a Terminator. You can see that I have a dingle. Okay, yeah, checks out.
And 2 berries.
I have a dingle and 2 berries. I am not a Terminate. Yes, I can
have a
see
3-piece suite, 2 chairs and a sofa.
I love the idea that Terminator's a program with all this weird euphemisms for dick and ball. As you can see, I have a canoe and 2 rocks.
Nah, that's not so good.
Well, yeah, they're programmed by machines. It's not going to be good. They don't know what's a good euphemism.
So, as you can see,
fair
I have data invalid 404.
As you can see, I have the mouth hangs open and just the modem, like, startup noise kicks in.
Would you like to see my cascading style sheet?
Fucking
Would you like to know more?
Hey, it seems like you're trying to examine my junk. Do you need help with this? Oh, God.
I mean, I always kind of interpret the fact that they do have the dick and balls as just to, make them better infiltrators, because you don't know. I don't know.
They use it to interrogate people. It's like, tell me where John Connor is. I can be very persuasive. Erection mode activated.
Seduction mode active. Careless Whisper starts playing.
Barry White
This
starts
starts
dancing.
dancing. Opens his mouth and Barry White blasts.
The big question is, did the old rubber Terminators, the ones with rubber skin, do they have a big old rubber dick as well?
No, they have, like, those weird dilduses that people get, and you see vines of them throwing them onto, like, car doors as they, like, whipping down the motorway. They have, like, huge ones of those that just kind of,
wobble.
like a suction cup.
Okay.
That makes sense, because then they can remove it and fucking twat you with it.
It's an offhand weapon.
Yeah.
Their Weebles
You
wobble.
can use the rubber dick as a bonus action.
Weebles wobble. But, oh, like, a Terminator sits down and their balls just start swinging around. Left, right, and centre like a Weeble. That would be perfect.
We spent a lot of time in this podcast talking about Terminator's junk.
Well, they shouldn't raise the questions, because, like, we can tell that they're, like... That, like, Terminators do have naughty bits.
Do their balls hang low? Do they swing to and fro? Can you time them up? Can you time them about?
The T-1000 could. He could literally tie someone up with his nards.
Why does he never use that as a stabbing weapon?
He should...
I'll tell you what, shall I move on and talk about one of the things that's actually on our list to talk about?
Yes!
Okay.
So, dicks and balls.
It's a video game.
Knives and stabbing weapons.
I shall talk about a video game that I have been playing a lot of recently,
Okay.
which is Slime Rancher.
Okay. Are there dicks and balls in that?
Well, lots of slime.
There's a lot of slime.
Well... Okay, tell me about... Because we played that for the channel a couple weeks ago.
And is the most goddamn adorable thing in the universe.
It is super cute.
They're just little things that bounce around and have happy faces and make pleasant noises.
It's like Robert Patrick's balls.
The first ones you catch are tiny pink balls.
Oh, they're super happy to see you, though.
They are. Much like Robert Patrick's balls.
I think Robert Patrick's balls are just glad to get an airing every now and again.
Fucking hell is this?
It's tight in here.
Maybe we should... Oh, God. Why did they program his balls to have, like, sentience? That's just cruel.
I tell you what it's
Cruel and
like.
unusual.
It's like that one episode of South Park, with Minji. I can't film my next Minji.
I can't remember
with,
that.
I've not watched South Park in many
One
years.
with Oprah Winfrey's arse and vagina having individual personalities.
Okay.
That sounds very South Park.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Yeah, well, okay.
Slime Rancher.
Slime Rancher. We need to talk about Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
We spent like an hour and a half talking about dicks and balls.
Yeah. It's
Coming
fine.
back to the dicks and balls, so... The Slaneshiest podcast ever.
But yeah, so Slime Rancher. It's quite a good little game where it's like one part an exploration game because there's a huge area for you to explore and find little nooks and crannies and find. I know you're laughing. I just use the term nooks and crannies.
I didn't even laugh audibly. I just kind of contorted my face so I wouldn't laugh. Nooks and crannies.
Yeah. So there's a huge explorative element, but there's also kind of a farming element. But the farming element is admittedly fairly shallow because you just breed slimes and get food to feed them.
You breed them?
Yeah, well, breed them's the wrong word. You can kind of feed a certain kind. Okay, so when you feed a slime, they poop out a little thing called a plort.
Yes.
Does it actually go plonk?
Maybe that's why they call it that.
It does make a little pop noise. You can then feed that to other slimes, so you can make them eat each other's shit. And depending on what type of slime poops out the plort, depends what type of plort it is, and then that will turn the slime you feed it to a hybrid of that first type of slime and the other type. So there's lots of different kinds. There's like the basic ones that are just the little pink ones. There's ones that are kind of like cats. There's ones that are like kind of rock golem type ones that kind of roll in a ball and charge towards you.
Oh yeah, those dicks.
There's exploding ones that just repeatedly explode. They don't die, they just explode. They're like Kablamus, the exploding man from the Mask animated series.
I see.
Which I'm aware is a reference to a bit of pop culture that I'm sure everyone listening knows.
Pop culture from 20 years ago, you fucking OAP.
Yeah, the shit animated series of the Mask.
It was better than the Ace Ventura one.
Oh, that was...
They had a crossover. There was a crossover where Ace Ventura... I can't remember which show it was in, but yeah, Ace Ventura and The Mask got together from those relative, respective animated series. It was weird.
No.
And both of them are still better than The Mask 2.
Yeah, but that's not an exceptionally difficult feat.
That was a creepy-ass film.
Oh, that was weird. There's a fucking van down the road from us, and for some reason there's a DVD copy of The Mask 2 on its dashboard, and it's been there for weeks.
Yeah,
I want to know
they're
if
dead.
Are the people okay in there?
No, they're dead.
Is that why they haven't gone back to pick the van up because it's contaminated?
Yes.
I don't know.
Obviously, it's an anti-theft device. No one's going to touch it. I was like, oh, nick this van. Oh, it's got master. Fuck that.
He's like, oh, it
Yeah.
is tainted. I shan't go near it.
It's been corrupted by chaos.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't think the Chaos Gods are that depraved.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Ash.
I don't know.
Speaking of the Chaos Gods, you can actually make the slimes in Slime Rancher go through the flesh change.
Oh.
If an already like crossbred slime that has like things from two different types of slime eats another type of plort that doesn't relate to the two types that it is combined by, it turns into tar, which just consumes everything.
Yeah, those guys are kind of dicks.
Which, yeah, in the video we did, there was an outbreak that consumed everything on your ranch.
I didn't care.
Well, at that point, everything had started going wrong.
Yeah, so I just watched it burn to the ground.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a funny game, because it's technically kind of shallow, and you've sort of seen everything that's in it before. It's just kind of a basic farming game with, kind of explorative elements. There's a little bit of Metroidvania about it, as in you have to get certain... Like you have to get the jetpack to be able to get to certain areas and collect things to unlock new areas, and you can get through to different areas different ways depending on what you've unlocked. But there's just something kind of quite pleasant and relaxing about playing it. It's not particularly challenging, but I don't know. Like, sometimes you just want a game that you can just idly play for like an hour or so here and there.
I mean, I think it's very telling that after we did recording, you were like, I'll just give it another go. And then it was 3 a.m.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to be editing the video about this game. And I wasn't, I was playing it.
GG.
But yeah, I think it is generally a little bit on the expensive side, but I mean, it depends on how much time you get out of it, really. Like, I've played it for like 20 hours. So,
Only 20 hours?
So, like, someone did, kindly gift it to us, but if I had have bought it, I would have got my money's worth.
Yeah.
From the game. But, yeah, it's one of those, like, how the value for money depends entirely on how hooked you get by it, and that's somewhat hard to quantify.
It's like crack, really, isn't it?
One would think.
Yes. Yeah.
I assume.
I have not done the crack. So I can't compare the two.
Because it's whack.
Well, unless that crack was Demon Souls. The game, Demon Souls. Yeah. As in the one before Dark Souls. The better one, the harder one. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Demon Souls as much as Dark Souls.
I mean, come on, can we just agree that the best the Demon Dark Souls is Dark Souls 2?
No.
Okay, I am joking. Holy shit! Before I get people like sending death threats to me, that was a total joke.
Legitimately, the best one's Bloodborne.
Oh, we need to play it. We don't have a PS4.
So we've never played it.
No, but it's so aesthetic. Now that does werewolves right.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Plus, it's all Lovecraftian as shit, and that's
So
that's my
good.
jam.
Is it your jam?
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I didn't like about Demon Souls when going through to play it again is, aside from the fact there's a few bits that obviously, because it was the first iteration of this game that they just keep iterating upon, there's a few things like I don't like the health system where you just eat watercress.
What's wrong with watercress? It's delicious and
Because
nutritious.
you can just run out of it,
Oh.
and you have to go buy more.
Oh.
Well, that's the point. You're meant to
butts.
conserve your health. You're meant to dodge it. Because, like, the whole point of Demon Souls is, like, you lost... You lost? Okay, you only get half your health now, and you can get it back when you prove you don't need your health.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels... I feel like... I mean, you know, obviously how you feel about the story and the progression and bosses and things is going to be largely down to personal opinion, but I don't know. I feel like the repetitious aspects of the Souls series, they didn't nail until Dark Souls. I think the Estus system really was a good way, and I think when they tried to mess with it later on, it's just not been as strong as. I just think Dark Souls 1 has the best health system. And also, thank you, neighbours, for bringing in the bins right now.
I'm so glad they choose today, especially because it was days ago when the bins were taken.
So, oh shit, we left our bins. They're full of raccoons now.
Time to just drag them screaming down the entryway.
Dinner's
smacking
ready.
them all.
I don't even know if people will be able to hear that, but we can hear it.
I can hear it.
Okay, well, people can probably hear it then.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe you don't stop.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Get the raccoons.
But yeah, personally, I preferred Dark Souls, especially because the bosses in Demon Souls, I found them to be a lot more kind of gimmicky and annoying to fight.
You know what I found really annoying to fight was the Dragon God, just because it wasn't really a fight, more as a puzzle. But like the fight against like Tower Knight, they basically recycled that fight verbatim in Bloodborne with one of the later bosses because it was that good a fight.
I know, I didn't really get much out of that fight, to be honest. I mean, I never beat Demon Souls, in all honesty. I beat like the first like
Did you die against
4 or 5 bosses or something?
King of Land? Or did you not get that far?
I don't think I got that far. No, I don't remember.
Because the one problem that Demon Souls does have, the magic is overpowered as fuck. Like,
oh, okay.
if you pick a magic class, you can breeze through the game. Like, you get a hold of the Firestorm spell, just run up to like some of the bosses, like doing New Game Plus, right, which is meant to be a lot harder. Clear the first area, ramp to the first boss, Phalanx, cast Firestorm, one hit kill.
Damn,
Shit,
son.
okay.
One hit kill against the Filthy Colossus, one hit kill against the Leech Lord. It's against certain bosses. It's stupidly powerful, that spell.
I guess that's like the Souls series has always had a bit of a funny relationship with magic. It's never really felt like they've got it where they want it to be, which is why it gets tweaked so
And
much.
then it did Bloodborne, where it's just like, fuck, get rid of it.
Fuck that. Fuck shields. Fuck
Yeah.
half the game.
It's basically just like, right, you've got a weapon that can change to a different weapon, and you've got a gun.
You got a pew-pew gun. It's
Yeah.
well good.
There's one level in Bloodborne that's really, really fun where you go to Old Yarnum. And, like, there's a bit where you got this other hunter on top of a church. He's got a fucking Gatling gun, and he's, like, shooting you. Like,
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's like,
yeah.
fuck this shit. Oh, my God, these monsters are everywhere. They're poisonous. Nah.
That sounds fucking rad.
I've actually recently, because I played through Dark Souls 3 at launch, and when the DLC started coming out, we had to reformat our computer, and Dark Souls 3 was the one game that I forgot to back up my data on.
Yep.
So I had to go through it all again. I actually went through with a friend recently, kind of getting myself back up to the point, because I'd beaten the entire game bar the what's his name, the Forgotten King, Nameless King. I always forget his name.
Funny that.
Yeah. I'd beaten everything in the game except him on my own. And the only reason I didn't continue to try and beat him on my own was just because I got kind of fed up with doing it and stopped having fun, and so I was like, fuck it.
I got to the windmill.
The windmill? In Dark Souls 2?
Oh, Dark Souls 3.
Was the windmill in Dark? Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I was like...
Sorry, so... I thought you played more than Dark Souls 3 than that.
I'm sure... No, wait, no, I did. That was with my second character. So I went through with a caster.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted to roll a caster in the first one, but literally everyone was like, "Fucking don't!" I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've heard casters aren't good in 3, but
So
I've not
I
played
didn't.
one. So.
The second one, I had one, but it was quite... It was a lot easier, the second one was.
Second one, casters worked okay.
They worked fine.
I got through most of the game playing a caster once.
Yeah,
It's
I got through a good way. But yeah, no, I stopped in the windmill with my caster. Because my first one was just a standard warrior. Kind of knight.
Yeah.
Because knights are just easy. Easy peasy, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at the difficulty. Like, I'm terrible. I'm the worst gamer ever.
It's not like the Souls series is notorious for being difficult or anything.
Oh no, not at all. Which is probably why I played so much of Dark Souls 2.
I don't know, in a weird way, I think Dark Souls 2 is kind of more difficult than Dark Souls 1.
Only because of really stupid shit going on. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, like the Rat King boss, like, it's if you can kill all those little rats first, quickly, it's piss easy, but if one of them bites you, that's it, you're fucked.
Yeah, it just punks you out of nowhere so often, Dark Souls 2 does. And also, I just find, like, how... I didn't realise whilst I was playing it, but then when I went back and played it a little bit after because I played through Dark Souls 1 and then played through Dark Souls 2, and then I went back to Dark Souls 1, and then when I went back to Dark Souls 2 again... I realised how fucking slow and unwieldy everything is in it compared to the first game, and especially compared to Dark Souls 3, which is lightning fast comparatively.
Yeah. Well, and then we'll go to Bloodborne and be like, "Oh, what is this speed?"
The thing is with Bloodborne as well, your playstyle is completely different because you have to be more aggressive. Because the game actually rewards you for being aggressive, because if you get hit, if you get aggressive and start hitting them back, you get some of your health back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that sounds like that would be such a painful transition from going to Dark Souls to Bloodborne.
Especially if you're
It'd get you whipped.
Yeah, if you're a very heavy shield user.
Yeah.
Like me with my double shield build.
I just go around Bloodborne using the Kirk hammer. It's literally, first mode, it's just a dinky little sword. But then you go to the secondary mode, it's a massive fucking hammer.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
That sounds amazing.
And then set on fire. So you just scream, "Burning hammer!"
Yeah, I'm currently playing through the second DLC of Dark Souls 3 finally.
No one with all the spooky lady trees who just murder you.
No, that's the first one.
Because I didn't
that's
like
Ash's
them.
very end devil.
I like the armor because you get antler helmets. From
Yes, that is fun. You can get an antler helmet.
It's pretty heckin' rad.
The second one is where what's it even called? The Ring City. So yeah, I've been playing through that a bit.
You fight nothing but giant crabs.
There is bad times in that. Like, you just wander into an area and then there's just an angel in the sky that just pelts you with shit constantly until you find a thing that is actually the thing controlling it.
Rude.
Which you've got to scour the whole area all the time, basically being artillery shelled, but with lasers. It's not good.
That seems a bit over the top. But Dark Souls DLC has always been like crazy.
They do tend to cut a bit more loose with it. Like one of my favourite things in all of the Souls games, despite it being from not the best one, is from is it the Ivory King DLC for Dark Souls 2?
Oh.
Where you drop down with a bunch of other knights into hell, into the chaos.
Pretty amazingly cool.
And then you fight a bunch of small guys, and then I think it is the Ivory King.
The curtain of flame pulls back, and a single you-sized guy walks out. At which point, your butthole clenches so hard you snap your chair in half.
Yeah.
Because the moment a you-sized enemy shows up, let alone a you-sized enemy that is walking in one of these Soul games, you are fucked.
Yeah, you know that guy's probably going to be a bit of a beast.
Yeah. A little bit. God, that was so
Also, I just want to say, back in regards to Bloodborne, fuck Father Gascoigne. I hate that. It's like the second boss in the game, and he's, don't joke, probably the most difficult boss in the game. It's the second one.
He's a lovely little cinnamon roll, and I think he's perfect.
That's because you've not had to fight him.
No, I just think his design is great.
Starts off as a normal hunter bloke, and then he take half himself away, then he turns into a giant fucking werewolf and goes completely berserk.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck.
he goes full beast mode, and it's like, I'm so glad. I'm probably gonna just give up before I get to that point when I play it, and then just watch you play the rest of it.
Probably.
So it's fine. I think Father Gascoigne's really cool.
I really like the fight with Vicar Amelia. That was an awesome fight.
Oh my god, I really want a tattoo with Vicar Amelia. She is perfection.
Just because the design is rad
She's
as
a
hell.
werewolf with antlers.
Who?
That's the most perfect thing.
Who's the size of a 2-story building.
Yeah,
And
and
all
she
she
screams at you. It's just like, oh my god, spirit animal. She is so perfect, I love her. Some phenomenal designs.
Like
in there.
Morgul's wet nurse, which is like a 6-armed Grim Reaper with a whole bunch of scythes and like 6 angel wings just going with its scythes. It's like, fuck this.
God dang. Yeah, I do really like the Lovecrafty kind of really grim kind of design with those. With all that stuff. It's pretty fucking rad.
I also like, because, I mean, knowing that it was going to be a long time before I got a PS4, like, I watched a full Let's Play of Bloodborne, so I kind of saw everything. But I did really like how it was sort of a stealth Lovecraft game, and it starts off with, like, goofy werewolf kind of shit, and then just gradually it's like, oh yeah, by the way.
Here's an old god.
Yeah. Oh, they're all over the place, by the way, you just can't see them yet.
Because you're not crazy enough.
Yeah. You haven't got the insight. It's like, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, and don't look at the Shoggoth, because it'll literally kill you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It probably will.
Which is, I just think that's pretty rad. Although, we should probably think about wrapping this thing up with...
But we didn't loop it around, so we were talking about the old god's dick and balls.
If you want Lovecraftian dick and balls, go watch Reanimator, where you can see Arnie's stunt double.
You can, yeah.
And you can see his dick and balls in
Was
that.
he the stunt double from the first one?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Which ties back to Arnie and Terminator, where you can see his dick and balls. There you go, tied round.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
There we go.
Perfectly looped.
It's a loop of dick and balls and a Ouroboros, a phallic Ouroboros.
Phallic Ouroboros.
Except for that one part about Death Note, but fuck that.
Yes. It's fine. We'll forget that.
We did start talking about Willem Dafoe's dick and balls, though. So.
Oh, yeah, that was mentioned.
So, yeah. Well, Ram, thank you so much for joining us on our podcast. We're sorry we ruined everything by talking about the dicks and balls.
Thank you for having me on. It was an interesting experience.
It's okay if you want to block us on all social media platforms.
That's
now.
fine.
That's fine. We're expecting it, honestly.
If people like what they hear and they want to check your stuff out, where can they find you?
Check out my channel, 40k Theories. I'm sure Snipe will put a link in the video description.
Nah.
Oh, fuck you then.
Yeah, alright then, fine. Don't worry, I'll put it everywhere. It's just, YouTube 40k Theories, and go watch all the really cool lore videos.
Yes.
And your podcast.
Yes.
Which is way better than this one.
Which we're actually recording later today as well.
Oh, dang, you are a machine.
I am a machine. You've seen my pictures after all, so...
Well,
this is true.
Well, thank you everybody for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.